Hello, this is Lana. This is Galactic Civilizations version. Well, my builds games on 2.0. I'm gonna start today talking about influence. There's generally a lot of questions around how it works, and want to be able to show it off here. Let's see. Okay, I just want to check there. Anyways, so there's a lot of questions on how this works. Like culture bases, do you put them in deep space? Do you put them next to the colony? You know, how does it work in general? Stuff like that. You know, how are these borders determined? Anything that you can do to improve it? So that's what I'm going to kind of talk about here. So influence basically determines the border size. And I'll be probably drawing on the screen quite a bit. So we got, you know, here's the influence border. This is pretty obvious. It's very noticeable how this works. What's not quite so obvious is, you know, the different things. And there's a few different. The way influence work is you think of it like a light bulb, and let's get this a little bigger so I can draw. You know, basically, I need a different color. So you basically have your light bulb source. This is the most terrible looking light bulb ever. There's a center, and then you know it's every ring, or it has like rings around it. You know that go around. Just pretend they go all the way around. Um, and each time, the farther it goes, the dimmer the dimmer the light gets. So like this might be uh every single ring it reduces, and you can sort of see it if you click on a planet here and hold down the control key. You get the number. So now it probably helps I'm not in the middle of. Let's find a smaller source of influence. Probably not in the middle of this because there's a lot to go around. Okay, let's just do here. I can say that right now there's probably a starbase like right around here. And you could actually use the influence to determine where the starbase is at, because it's going to be the strongest point of influence in that area. You hold down the control key and you see, okay, navigators is 1.33, and then it's 0.97, 0.99, 100, stuff like that. So you basically could say, I could use influence to tell me that their starbase, which let me try this again here. You know, their starbase is right there. You just look at the influence, and you can sort of see just because it's basically the center of this area. Now, there's many sources of influence. The resources generate influence. The starbase that you can't see here generates influence. Oops. The if you've claimed an asteroid, these generate influence. Am I going to be lucky enough to see one that I haven't claimed to show that it doesn't? Probably not. I've actually been fairly good about claiming these, but that generates influence, and then obviously you have planets, both cores and regular colonies, and they have different rules with them. And then you have, let's see, like I said, star bases. So star bases, resources, asteroids, colonies, and cores. So I'm gonna use the cheats a little bit, just kind of illustrate some of this. So one thing is you may be there's some tooltips that almost makes it seem like colonies don't generate influence, and that's just not the case. Like for instance, if you go into, I think it's egalitarianism representations. Oh, they changed the wording. Okay, good. This used to say that it allows them to generate influence, and that's was never true. It increases it. So if you're dealing with a colony, you have this influence number, this flag that's per turn, and then up here you have the how much total. That's basically how bright the bulb is, and every turn it increases its brightness. It never decreases. So we okay, but if you use cheats, like right here, you don't get that tooltip, which is in a way is unfortunate. But if you do list stat, and we'll do influence, I can see that this has generated 345 influence, and you don't have to use cheats. You could just hold down the control key and see it. Now, you'll see that, well, that's way higher than 345. And the reason is that's being generated from another source. And that radiates out. So if you look over the influence, this colony has a influence radius of 48 tiles. So, from here, it's putting influence pressure on everything else. So one of the big things is every source is its own light bulb. They, they all emit light. But they don't combine. Whatever at any given tile, whatever is whatever has the best influence wins the tile, and that's the strength of the tile. And that's true for culture star bases too. If I go in here, I can see, okay, this is the influence that's been generated by this culture starbase. I think I just built this. And then this is the influence growth per month and the natural influence radius. And the higher the influence, the more the radius increases. 1 second. I just want looking at, I don't have my chat. There we go. All right, so that's kind of a couple basics. You basically have a source, and it generates influence, and then if you hold down the control key, you can see that there's a source nearby that's 2,000 influence, and another one is 1990. They're close, but I win the tile because I have a little bit more than the other guy. So that's how that works. This border here tends to bug out a little bit. These borders. So sometimes it's not going to be the best way of telling, but if you have the grid lines, these generally are accurate. The fact that these things are even close is kind of a miracle. it's a lot. It's probably a lot of math for Stardock to get that mechanic to work. All right. So that is the basics. Now let's go into actual influence generation. So the way it works is you take your cultural input and you multiply. If you hover over this, you can get all the factors here, and then you have your cultural input, which is 12.3. Hover over here, and this is 12.3, but because it's one of the factors here. It's 12.3, but this is the unrounded, or it's not rounded. It just because it shows 12.3, it's actually slightly lower because there's more precision in the equation. But they don't want to show how many decimal points it goes back. Now you also get influence from some citizens just to generate some influence. There's other sources you can look at. Citizens. Yeah, I built a planetary beacon, and so these are flat numbers. The governor generates influence. I forget. I think based on the social score. You know, I have improvements. I have a tech that I researched. I have, you know, there's bonuses. Basically, you take all the integers, the flat bonuses, and you multiply by all the percentage bonuses. And you can do you know, culture star bases on there too. So the best influence generators are going to be the worlds, typically the worlds that say paradise. Where is it? That's not a paradise world. Where'd it go? Oh, I'm sorry, I lost it. Was it over here? That's terrestrial. Or okay, or was it down here and I took it? I think I took it. That's radioactive. This is okay, I can't seem to find it. Oh, here we go. I have it already. The best worlds are paradise worlds. So if we go in here and we hover over the influence number, this world itself is generating a base influence of 12. So if you get one of these are the ones that you want to add your influence growth, because you can always add the star bases for the multipliers and the flat bonuses, but you'll always get the best use out of the influence star, the paradise worlds. Second paradise worlds is generally the home worlds, but it's not the same for every race. You know, if I go over here, like I think mine was terrible. Series 4, you know, my base influence. Oh, this isn't my home world, anyways. But you know, this is the base one, and then you have the influence coming from all the colonies nearby. You have the influence; these all add up, but they have the decay. So when you're looking to culture flip, you want to ideally grab the paradise worlds, and you should grab them anyways to take that territory. Now, there's actually a few mechanics around influence. What everyone's aware of, and it tends to be a point of debate lately, is that they can flip colonies, and but they also are the influence amount is actually for the tourism value here, and that goes into the own tile bonus. And the own tile bonus is based on every single tile that you own is calculated, and you go into your stats and you see controlled parsecs. That's how many tiles on the map my civilization owns. And I believe it's the cube root. It used to be a square root, and this is why influence was like a huge moneymaker. So I was like, this needs to be toned way down. So I was like, if you change it to cube root, it's a little better. I think it's not exactly cube root anymore, because it did feel like might have been a little excessive. I have to look at the numbers. I'm gonna look at them again this weekend and see what it is. But that's basically, you take the cube root of this number. So where's my calculator? So 30. So let's go in here. So cube root of that number. So 30. 393, and then cube. I just want to see 3, 8. Like I said, I don't think this is cube root anymore, but let's verify. And apparently I don't remember how to use my calculator. Okay, I'm gonna raise it to a power of 1/3. 893 raise 5 by 3. So 31.37. So it's 31.38 if I do proper rounding. All right, so let's go back in here and click on any world and look at the own tile bonus. It's slightly less. It's 30.31. So again, it's pretty close here. I think they just, you know, change it a little bit. But that's basically, you know, I mean, it's pretty close right now. I think the number's not 30. I think it's slightly adjusted. But that's where that number comes from. That own galaxy tile bonus is it's basically this equation. Just this number here is slightly off, and I haven't figured that out. Okay. So where's my hotkey? All right. So that's your own tile bonus. And so that that affects everything around here. The more tiles you get, the more you get from tourism. And then the next thing, culture flipping. The way culture flipping works, is there one that's being flipped right now? Here. Okay. Let me, can I do this without, trying to get the mouse. All right, so you have this, basically first thing you gotta do with culture flipping is you just gotta cover the tile. Once you own the tile's in your color. I think I was wondering if I had one in dispute. I don't think I have one disputed tile right now. But basically, once you cover the sector with your color, it starts the rebellion system. Now, for many people, like this just, it's like, oh, I easily get this stuff, when actually it's based on a lot to do with the how much influence. And this 1.3, if I hold down control, you could see like that difference. And when you get the higher influence versus the owner, the better. But they may have changed this a little bit. They may have based it off of the growth rate of influence. So if I'm wrong on that, that's because they recently might have adjusted this. So, but usually, if you're not flipping a colony, it's because you don't have enough influence. It's not about. It has nothing to do with that this tile is in your borders, and it also does not have nothing to do with that's this far into the borders. Why for why it's not in rebellion, because sometimes it's not because you have resistance, which you can see here. This resistance, the higher is, the harder it is to actually flip the colony. Now, there's a few reasons why the AI worlds can be easy to flip, and one of it is they kind of made it so the AI can't stack all the chips onto the world. Which in ways I kind of see, but other ways I was like it would be one way the AI could counter flipping is if you pile up a bunch of warships, it reduces the chance to flip it or increases your resistance. But they chose not to do that. And then once you get enough, you start rebellion. And it's kind of a hidden system. And with the latest patch notes, it looks like it's about 100 rebellion points you need. And basically each turn you generate so many rebellion points. And I think you can see this list stat. And I think list stat tells you all the underlying stats. It's, if you're interested in learning how the game works, this is a great way of doing it. Let's see, rebellion points. So I have 9 points into the rebellion. And you can use that to watch, how that grows. So if you're, if you want to learn, like, okay, why is this not working? You can see how fast that grows, and the different factors into it. Okay, so once you get basically 100% rebellion, I believe it's 100 rebellion points, you flip the colony and it comes to part of your empire, and you'll get a message saying it's been annexed. Now you can flip cores colonies and asteroids. You cannot flip star bases. There was a culture perk here. I forget where it was, but there was a pick a while ago that you could flip. It's like a one-time. You press a button, you flip everything that your culture is covering. But they removed it. It was kind of silly and it was awkward and also exploitive because all you could do is basically cover all this, the AIs of your world, press a button, and you flip whole empires. Like you could do like 3 of them in one turn. All right. Okay, so that is the rebellions. So if your rebellion isn't working, it's because you don't have enough influence on top of the other one, and you could see these numbers with the control key. So the high you want to get this influence, the 1.6x. That's basically the difference between those. Except for you don't see it because you can't actually click on the world to see your influence on it. So you have to. There's a equation in there, and it's actually fairly complex. I won't cover in here. I might post the equation later. All right. Generating influence. And then also, let's probably just go right into culture star bases. So, uh, culture star bases. Well, no, I have to cover the planets first before I can go into that. All right. Also, no, wait, I did cover this already. I'm sorry, I just completely spaced out. We went over that. Um, I don't know if it shows resistance. By the way, resistance is basically the inverse of approval. So this Brachira should be, or maybe matching approval. I think that's Brachira's going to be 53. No, it's not. It's not 1-for-1. I think it's something else. But basically, the higher approval, that's one factor, and then there's some other factors that might come into play with it. They've added a little bit more mechanics here. Oh, here we go. Resistance. Dogma's adding 25, and then high. Oh, here we go. High approval. It's not very high. I think it starts at like 50% is the break-even point. So this is actually new that you could actually hover over and see the resistance. How it's no, jeez. Sometimes getting the right tooltip. Yeah. So you can now see like how these factors come into play. So you can say, oh, my resistance is baseline 0.6, but I have this perk here. So how what I can do to increase it? You can look at the tooltip. Let's see. They have a fleet here. I wonder if it'll show me. Okay, so their resistance, they have Dogma as well. They have the Courageous trait that's added in 20. They have the Warforged trait that's 3, and then they have High Approval. So if you're wondering, like Taurians are notoriously, they have like 100% resistance. You can see how those numbers are influenced or come to that total. Using the shift tooltips. Okay, so we have our planet, and then it's time to talk about culture star bases. Do I have one of these in deep space? I generally do, but I don't know. I think when I started here, I claimed some stuff with it, but then I end up in a colony. But let's find culture starbase. Culture starbases are basically have these little orbs in the line underneath for the icon, and they have 2 influence. They generate all starbases generate influence. Economic starbases have influence. They have things that boost their influence, a flat amount and percent amount. Like, so you can, I believe the defense system adds influence. So you can add all your starbases, you can do that to claim worlds in deep space. So you don't have to build a culture starbase if you need influence generation for whatever reason. But the culture star bases generate the most. They have the most boosts to their influence, and they have a influence growth per month, which is pretty flat. It's usually about 5 times, or every time you build one, and then you can do the starbase defense systems, and I think the sensor ones also generate that. So I can boost that up, and then so you have the growth per month, which every month it adds to this number, and then this number uh, affects the natural influence radius, which I believe is a square root. Might be a cube root. Looks like it might be a cube root. I'm going to do that math right now. It's one of those. I'll add it to the guide. I was going to figure this out again. But so basically the how far this goes is based on how much has been generated. All right, and then you have culture starbases also have a colony modifier. And what this is if a colony is within its influence radius, like right here, then so it has its natural influence radius right here, and then this is adding to the colony. And then if you look on the colony and you look at the modifiers for influence, you can see this is the modifiers. So you could use, there's 3 ways you could use a culture star base. You can boost the power of a colony. You can use it to claim worlds, and this is actually has a neat use. If you don't want the AI to take something from you, like early on in the game, the AI is coming up and they're dropping colony ships all over their space, and it's based on their personality. They're not, some AI's personalities will do it, some of them won't. You could drop a culture starbase, and if you get over, I think when you start a colony, it's about here. I'll probably have to back this off here, but let's do. Is there a colony that hasn't been claimed? I mean, this is really late in the game, so I doubt it. Yeah, I think when you first create a colony, it's about 100 influence points. In fact, here let's go back to the beginning here. New. My next playthrough is going to be GalCiv. I've decided. Let's just go into a new game. And you'll have to bear with me. I sometimes decide how I'm going to do these things on the fly. I don't prepare for anything. I just don't.
A civilization founded entirely
All right, so if I click on a colony here, and I click colonize, that's a hotkey. If I do list stat, or list stat influence, okay, colonies start with 10 influence, and colonize, and come here, get to leader, and now here I can click on my influence. Okay, so 10. So what that means is if we go back to our game, what you can do is if you start a culture starbase surrounding a bunch of colonies, the AI might come in and try to claim it and immediately start in rebellion. Because like if you have 100 influence and they generate a colony and they get 10. I don't think it stays at 10. I think there's some other factors on what the starting one is, but if just for the example, if they start with 10 and you have 100 influence on that tile, you immediately put them in 10 times rebellion, which I believe the max rebellion you can do now is 5 points per turn. So in 20 turns, you'll flip that core world to your side unless they take it back. So if you're annoyed by the AI, or if you want to make sure you claim certain things, you drop. The best thing to do is drop a culture starbase and get a couple upgrades on it. All right, and then let's see. Oh, and yeah, I did mention that it's the strongest source of influence of any given tile. And I thought there's one more thing. I don't know if anyone has any questions about influence. I actually might have covered it. Yeah. So, I was actually talking about the multiple uses of culture starbases. You can claim colonies that you're going to settle later. If you're quick enough, or let's say the AI took a colony but not a core, which has slow influence. Like a culture starbase can usually flip a colony by itself, because cores they only get 1 point per turn, so it doesn't take long for the influence growth to catch up. Because if this is only accumulating 1 influence point per turn, and the starbase is doing even 5 per turn, eventually it's going to catch up. So if you look at the influence number over here, like 12, if I get a starbase, I mean, you want to be somewhat close to it. If I get a starbase near generating 15 a turn, I'm going to very, very slowly overtake this. I mean, it's a matter of getting, with the fall off rate, getting the influence border. It'll eventually can claim it. There's a with a formula there. So you can put a culture starbase around a colony or a core to claim it. You can claim stuff. So if the AI takes it over, you can also put it on a paradise world or another world to, take over sectors. And then, earlier in the series, the AI was over here, and I put planetary beacons, which are not research labs because I didn't need the beacons anymore. I put planetary beacons to boost this Hofmeister, who has, which was actually this one. It only had 2 influence, but each beacon adds 1. And then I added multipliers, and I stacked the multipliers to take Hofmeister or 1, and this Anadolu, Anadolu. I hate trying to pronounce these words. So that is another thing, and then influence starbases also. I mean, they have many different things. You can build defenses on them. You generally want to build defenses because it improves their just natural influence growth anyways. The defense systems. You could decide if you want. I wouldn't. I don't know why I even put this here. Oh, this one actually served a purpose, but you don't necessarily need the pulse cannon Durandum composite. They're not adding to the influence growth. They just increase the stats. If you want harpoon salvos, it gives them a little bit of ability to volley. So that one's actually probably useful to do, but not the pulse cannon. And then they have a minor boost to any ship in range, because they made it so all the star bases have a minor effect of the other ones. For the most part, I don't think there's any of them that does the econ effects. But you have, they all have the Cultural Awareness Center. This is not a bug. This is intentional. That gives all your boost the Starbase's core influence growth, and then it's colony 1, and that actually goes into a little goofiness with the interface. The first number here, with experience, you'll know is the natural influence number, and then the other two are or the 10% and the +1 is the colony one. And I hope someday they actually make it so it's clear which one's which. Like I just know that this one's the colony effect. This is the percent effect. Generally, all the um, ones that boost the local influence are all colonies. Or sorry, what am I talking about? The ones that boost the natural influence of the starbase are usually +5. Except for the defense system that just has to make things weird. So I think the perimeter scanners also adds +5. So with a influence starbase, you want your defense systems, the influence modules themselves, and the scanners, and then everything else is just optional. But I would recommend maybe getting a volley effect. Just in case an enemy comes nearby, you might as well take like little shots at everything. All right, so that's all I was going to say about influence. And I don't think I know there's some artifacts that boost it temporarily. They'll have different effects. Oh, one more. Might as well talk about where do you find boost influence? First, they're all tend to be color coded, and they tend to be this cyan color. And so you have Universal Traveler, Hyperwave Radio, and then you go down the this line here, the Xeno Entertainment line. So when you're looking for influence boosters, it's on this line. Now you can find, I think you find some other sources in different places, especially like the improvements, like diplomacy has the, well, actually in game they moved this. So this is one of the things that they moved. And then it's odd that upgrade culture is in diplomacy instead in this line. So, all right. So I'm going to go back. I don't remember if I edited anything. So let's just go into the game. So if anyone has any question about influence or anything else, let me know. I know there's like only a few of you, but well, actually it says like, I don't know, 10 and 11 people are in chat. I don't know why it says only one viewer. I don't know how that works. Maybe I'll figure it out someday. Okay, so we are still in the Everwar. Okay, so after this big dip, I started being a little bit more careful because I have really good production, but I was losing so many ships per turn that it plateaued my my military power. So I was like, okay, I gotta stop throwing away ships because I could see the Manti were actually gaining when I was losing. So that I had to make some adjustments. I also researched the defenses, the shields, and the armor. So those are now online. I redesigned my ships at the end of the stream, and I took back Campus and Solus and took this out here. I pushed the Manti out. And somehow, speaking of influence, when you see like little things like this, the reason why that is this is a colony. It doesn't have the greatest influence, but they have their asteroids, and I haven't got enough influence here to flip them. I thought you only needed one, but apparently no. They will eventually flip to my side, and that will fill that in. The other thing I could do is I could just straight destroy that asteroid field, but then I have to rebuild it. I'm not worried about this. This is not going to last long. once one of these asteroid field. Oh, I think you have to have all the asteroids. Well, this doesn't make sense either. But that's why that's happening. It's that asteroid field because it's owned. It's generating a small amount of influence. It's not a bug. And this is like some of the weird things because it's based on how many tiles. This is the influence generator, which is struggling against everything in here, but its radius extends out to here, so this is why it shows up like this. And you can't claim a starbase inside influence. Okay, let's see. We got some sort of fighter here. Oh wait, I could have actually killed that, it says. Okay, let's stop this invasion. There we go. Alright, let's look at the GNN. Okay, that's when I conquered it. I think there's some quirkiness I'd like them to change on the GNN, which I'll bring up a little later. Alright, because I don't want it to close like that. I want it to stay open. Siege. I'm just looking for sieges. See, that one worked. Maybe, I don't know why that... Victoria... Oh, is it if I click on the... And no, I don't know why. Sometimes closes, sometimes doesn't. Starbase stack, stuff like that. Okay, I'm not going to sit and watch all those. I'm just... It's a good way to see like what's being conquered and what's been built. There's different things that... Alright, transports... Let's see, we've taken this, we're not in rebellion. And this is the world here. And kind of going with the influence, this has a... This is generating 6701 influence to everything around it, and it's taken 44 tiles. Where this one here is doing far less influence. So there's a good chance if I take this world, I can start putting the other ones into rebellion. But I need a transport over there, and I have to wipe out their fleets. So let's do this here. I'm going to try not to show every single battle, but I like the battle viewer. These are old fleets too. Just... You can catch a whole lot, plus it just kind of looks cool. And done. And let's see, taking that. How do I want to do this? I want to send... Okay, I've already taken that, so let's come over here with this fleet and send this around here to just kind of take some stuff. Hopefully they just don't get wiped out by something small that I didn't see. Oh, and with your influence border, if you have options, there is something here about showing... Maybe it was under the Oh, it's under the game start options. You can determine whether or not you can see things inside the influence borders, which I like it. I think of it's like, okay, you got all these civilian ships, and if they spot an enemy fleet, they're reporting back. But civilian ships really aren't on the map, so that has never bothered me. But I have considered playing without that ability. And for some reason, some people feel like if they don't like They don't like a mechanic, they must use a mechanic. And if you don't like something, add a house rule. There's a reason why I limit my star bases. I can tell you star bases are overpowered as all hell, so I limit myself to one of each type on any given tile. I've played with that house rule since GalCiv 2. So I do think that it should be just one of those things of the game that it just works so much better. And I think there's a lot of feeling like, oh, this game's really easy. It's like, well, there's some kind of broken stuff you can do. I've struggled with this particular game because of I triggered the Everwar and then I have my limit and I've been obeying that limit, and so um, if you see like, oh, why is Lana not able to handle all this? It's because I can't. I don't allow myself to do certain things. I don't build academies um, because to me it's silly. I might start building like, well, now they limit it to, but I might have thought about doing like one or like a few academies, but I wasn't gonna put academy on every world and get like 3,000%. Um, really, these two fighters are gonna take out. Are these the ones that I just upgrade with my shields? Energy shields, pro-type defenses, shield. These are just regular shield generators. I think this is lying to me. These do not seem that good unless these are just utter trash. I think this is going to show me that the battle predictions are wrong. And they will be. Oh, they have missiles, except for they got lucky. Uh yeah. No, that didn't seem right. That it would do that. Be a victor. And that right there, if anyone says that the AI doesn't volley, is lying. You can see it. That's if you look at the GNN that they volley all the time. I don't need Galactic Resupply Doctrine because I'm not feeling like I'm having trouble with logistics. Uh, let's see, leaders available signed. Yeah, so I have an extra one. And ship upgrades available. I'm so terrible with upgrading these things. This has probably been ready for upgrade for like the entire game. Is this the pollen too? It's probably not. Yeah, it's not really a ship to fly with my other fleet, but at this point I don't need its effects, so might as well. Okay, so we have a fleet down here. Causing noise. Oh, I can use this to see. And then we have there's some stuff over here, stuff over here. And start an invasion here. Let's grab this over here. I gotta watch out for these two fleets. There's a Luxar fleet, which is probably the only thing they probably field that I have to worry about. And then there's a Manti fleet, which is kind of some of the only ships around here. But I don't have anything. I don't have too much in range. Let's combine these fleets. And now let's combine this. I didn't check. And let's see. Move up close. I'm going to do a missile volley. And oh, oddly, every once in a while it'll just both these volleys could destroy two targets. I haven't quite figured out why it sometimes works that way, but it's not always one. most time you could just expect it to be 1 and just enjoy when it's 2. Okay. Still, I still have these like trash fighters from earlier in the game. That's a Mark II. Yeah, they just, I lost a couple garbage fighters. I think the new ones will actually do quite well against the Manti. They're definitely running out of steam. Have to do that, and I might automate. I think because I'm at the point where I'm just like, okay, I've got so much done. These, like when you click automate, it will try to um, build from this point on based on how you've set it up. It looks to see how you set it up and figures out how to update. But you're still letting the AI just make terrible decisions. And again, it's not the AI programming. All AIs do this. I will. Galactic Civilization Games has the best AI, and no one's going to change my mind because I know what I if you watch AI for other games, they either cheat and have the appearance that they're doing some really cool stuff, or most time they don't even. The developers for those games don't even care. Brad Wardell's very big on having a smart AI but not cheating AI. Oh man, just one tile away. Okay, well I might chase you. Do a quick volley, weaken that a bit. Send this fleet here, and then I don't think I need both my fleets going there. So let's come down here. Let's move up this way. Did not see that other fleet, which is threatening my survey ship, but I will take that. Those. I don't recognize these. Are these their fighters? Yeah, they're. Wow. Oh, now they're fielding bombers. I haven't seen them send out too many bombers. I'm not worried about bombers. Alright. So we've got that. You're 11, so you're about here. Those ships should be safe. I'm not. I don't know why I'm even trying to do a battle prediction for that. They're just gonna get wiped out. If they try to take on that fleet of 12 ships with the 2 cruisers. All right. Probably lost a fighter or 2. No, yeah, one of the frigates. I need it. The more of these star bases I take out, the harder it is for them to get into my area. Let's see. Fleming has taken this now. It looks like I just flipped these asteroids. So the next, all the drawing of borders happens on the following turn. So the next turn, or if I were to reload the game, it will show that this is now my territory. Okay, so I got a couple things. I have this fleet over here that's kind of finish them off. I do have a starbase down here I need to take. I'm going to actually send this fleet down to the southwest to take the Manti world down here. Alright, is it? I think I was trying to be safe. Let's come out here. Probably head on this way to take out the stragglers. We'll put you on sentry until you have a fleet. Sentry until you have a fleet. Same thing here. That way I'm not being bothered until this is big enough to do something with it. Or you frigate with some fighter, you're probably taking out 2 fighters, aren't you? I keep saying, I'm going to cut down the amount of times I go in Belvedere, and I just keep going Belvedere. I just love watching this stuff. Let's see. Probably I need to make sure I protect this here. We'll kind of work on the navigators. Okay, and then they had 2 fleets on top of each other. I think well, let's see what I lose. A fighter. And take out their star bases. I think that was a fleet that I sent over here. Let's take out their shipyard. But I can't do it right now, so I'll just do a volley. And there's a fleet that's can move pretty quick and is a little bit of a threat to these transports, so I'm gonna just back this off a little bit. Okay, AI is doing its turns, doing a bunch of volleys, and it's attacking one of the shipyards I just took. Oh, it took out this fleet. They were doing so well. Ooh, big battle here. That one I'll watch. That little fleet that is just kind of running around just harassing stuff finally got destroyed, but it took a core and a bunch of colonies. See, cruisers are core ships, so they're going to fight the other cores. And then they start working on the fighters. So it's not random. I think they're gonna have enough hit points, but I'm gonna probably lose 2 more cruisers. Just hopefully, let's speed this up a little bit. Oh no, I'm gonna lose it all. It was close. What are you? I don't even know where you were. Oh, that was just big enough to take out that fleet. Okay, that's fine though. Unfortunate, but I can deal with it. Okay, so I've almost ignored the entire colonization tree. I got like a little ways away, but there's all the good stuff I just not even close to having with research. In fact, I think I'm only on asteroid factories. That's kind of comical. I've even done manufacturing capital. Antimatter power plants. These are all like staples of my other games. I just haven't even researched. And then this is I think these are farmers. So this is the farming tree. Agriculture. Hydroponics is like kind of the big one that everyone likes. A lot of people do farmers just for this tech because you can do the orbitals for all these resources. But I don't need it because I turned off my trade ability. Don't need that. I think it's actually surprised how well I've maintained with production, given I haven't researched hardly anything in the production tree. Okay, it keeps asking me. Let's see, is there anything special here? I like looking for the geniuses, which I already don't see, because they would be a book icon, but not this color. So I'm gonna just pick these all up. Because this is like your sliders from the other GalCiv games. Let's see. One of my next personal research goals is to figure out exactly how these numbers are calculated. I don't know why I'm pumping stuff in a natural league, because I just don't care. That's the answer. Warforged. Uh, I I got enough production. But I really don't need going natural league. But I'm gonna keep doing it, just so I could say I have 100% growth rate from natural league. Okay, so it looks like I got a little
Our
cage
vessel has
here.
chanced upon a unique artifact floating in the icy.
I'll keep this and then send it to just a weird spot. I could send it over here. There's like this swarm of monsters that are just wrecking anything that gets close. Let's just send it over there. Let's see. Let's take out their shipyards. Lost a couple ships there, and I think I might just come back a little bit. I did that little bit of damage. Trying just not to throw stuff away, so I'm not in a stalemate for the entire game. Let's automate that. And automate that. And send that out to there. I do need a fleet around here, though. Let's get this fleet over here, this fleet here, this one here, and bring this down here first. Kill that, take some losses, and then come up this way. Add to this fleet. I got two that I'm kind of watching out for. They're probably coming Hofmeister because they just love that, messing me with that colony. What is this over here? Oh, they must be on the tile, but it's probably not going to let me invade because they're on the tile. That's a little annoying. Let's volley it. Step just a little bit of ways away so that they may come out to attack. Let's probably... Oh, that's the old siege ships. Okay, and then when ships start coming out, then I'll send that fleet off. I have 2 fleets here, they didn't combine. 4. I can claim that, but that's also in, well, slow rebellion. It's gonna be still quite a few turns. All right. Let's back out here and see if there's a fleet that I own. Enemy fleet. That one's... No, there's one over here that I need to take care of. Is there anyone closer? Will 8 fighters take with kinetic weapons? I think they could take this fleet. No. Maybe a couple frigates here. Let's grab... Okay, this... I thought I gave this fleet an order. Okay, what do I do with this? Do I leave this here? No, I need to use this to clean up this other crap around here. Alright. Entry. Just take out this small group here, take this fleet out. And I can't take out the star bases, so let's get away from them. So I'm just not being volleyed. Take out their survey ship. And then fall back a little bit. Just a little raiding party. Send this over here. Because I think once I get rid of the Manti, this war is going to be much faster. Now, you might have saw that this fleet volleyed without my control. So you don't have to sit there and control that. Don't feel like you have to micro volley. I do it all the time. But is not required. Just kind of going around here. There's a little pirate shipyard. I'm not worried about. Okay. Hopefully I can combine those fleets without taking any losses on the way. Let's do modules I'm not going to use. Let's see. Lost 1 ship. I still don't know what that little tone that goes on. Is it just saying there's a GNN report or no idea? Why is this? It must have something that keeps canceling my rebellion. Or my invasion. Oh, no, I know it is, because I keep sending ships to this fleet to reinforce it. Okay, so Cyrus completed its queue. Let's get rid of that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, and then this is just a solo ship. Oh, this is the thing. Do I want 2 slums? No, I don't. That fleet there. Let's get this fleet out of here and then put it on sentry. Sentry. Wonder if it's because there's just so much little crap here that my sentries keep waking up. But it's probably better that I do so I can see stuff that I didn't expect. Okay. I don't know why I'm trusting this battle prediction. Don't trust battle predictions. They're predictions, not rules. There we go. And a bunch of these old rally points. What else? I lost something. Ooh, excuse me. Okay, we're somewhat matched up with them. What are they? Oh, one of my starbases volleyed it. Let's see, I could probably keep reinforcing this fleet here. Okay, then combine it. Can't combine. Move a tad bit closer and then combine. Automate that, and let's see. Let's move this to combine. How's this? Okay, so they're starting to rebel. I don't think I have enough to take that. I think there's still a decent sized fleet, but oh, I have this fleet up here. That should be enough to finish them off. Let's disband the smaller fleet and pull the transport in. I think I'd rather have 2 frigates than a cruiser. Cruiser can go over here. Alright, I need to grab this core world. In 2 turns, that should be enough to prevent that being annexed. Okay, so we have a fleet here. Another ship, just a loose ship here. Combine it with this fleet. And then should be able to, yeah, take that out. Lost a couple ships. Let's take this one out. As we'll get away with the volley. Okay, these have combined. Let's see, which one has the most influence? 1200 and 1395. So I'm taking this world. Just tiny little battle with these little fighters. Manti came here to do a little bit of damage. Okay, we've conquered Drogo 3, which is down here. And before I leave, I'm going to destroy this shipyard. Except for I can't because I just finished the battle here. And then I'll just clean up this area with this fleet and maybe move towards the Luxor with them. I'm not going to bother with that right now. Let's see, Pollen. Let's see, combine. Come down here. I just want to get rid of the Navigator's 2 worlds here. This invasion fleet slowly making its way. Might just cross the border here and just kind of hang out in sentry mode. I don't fortify the entrances anymore. I think I did it one game just because it was against the Maimot, and I just did not want to deal with them anymore. What are the odds that Patricus gets attacked? I think I just want to keep mobile fleets nearby. Let's see. Could actually reinforce this, build a few star bases to fortify this area up a little bit. Okay, a little bit of loss and transports. Okay, those are gone. Going well so far. What I could do is put a fleet while I'm waiting onto Zir to let me see here. Resistance 0%. Yeah, there's a slight little quirkiness to get protesting 60 moderate approval dogma. How many people are protesting? I actually probably do to... Okay, so they're protesting at 6 citizens of rebellion, 24%. Let's go assign a governor with actually a decent social score. So I can't do it on that screen. Let's assign maybe you to govern this, so I don't need to or give it a better chance to resist the influence. Come in here. So we have rebellions. Let's find out. Hover over approval. Brian is the one who has the best approval. So everyone else goes to prison. Okay, overall approval is 49%. resistance is well, it's still 49%. It's not improved enough. Let's see. Can I boost resistance with a upgrade? Planetary defense and sensor range. I never build the. Is there a resistance one? There's an orbital prison. That's not going to really help. Oh, they buffed that. I think actually what they did is they buffed these because the way these used to work, I don't think you can put them on colonies now. Or no, you can. I guess I don't know how it works. Oh, I'm playing the older version. I think some people are saying that it doesn't. You can't build their. But the 20% basically allows you put it on the colony and then you can add like 6 more colonies to the core worlds. All right, let's grab this and gonna build a command bridge.
Your flagship picks up an unusual energy signature emanating.
A little bit of manufacturing. Automate that. Oh, I had enough to take that. Lots of volleys. I do notice the GNN doesn't. It shows when you get volleyed, but it doesn't show you volleying them. At least that's how it appears. I didn't pay that much attention to it. I need colonization. Probably, I think, what was it? Manufacturing antimatter power plants. This is a galactic achievement, +3 to all. Actually, looks kind of terrible now. I mean, it's +3 to all. I might find it a use for that. Ooh, there's a lot of fleets around here. I need to combine these. And then I need to... Is there any transports in here? Did the AI steal these? Oh, because they did steal these from me. These are... Because they were colony ships too. So that's actually... Those are transports, even though it looks like colony ship. So you can't have those. Oh! Did I? No, that's because I stole them back. Okay. It's like, no. Alright. Scared me when it said my fleet reduced to 2. Alright, now... My fleet... Now, I got 3 transports, so I don't have... Gotta keep in mind, I have 13 ships. So, I might actually fly past them. Never mind, I might volley. Oh, no wonder that took that so fast. That's 185 conquest rate. Let's take this world now. Okay, that's the 2 cores. There's a lot of monsters here. A full Swarm of them. Okay, how do I use this fleet? I got all the things around here. That fleet's going over there. I might bring this down here just to make sure. And probably bring that down here. Let's see. Okay, come up here with this fleet. Come up here with that fleet. Where's that? No, that's not my fleet. That's their fleet. Oh, this is interesting. I want to watch this in a nebula. It's probably a terrible idea. I'm weakening. There's a nebula effect on the battlefield if you fight in a nebula. I didn't even hover over, so. Oh, this one doesn't have the nebulas. Okay, lost 3 fighters and a frigate. About to lose a second frigate, but their fleet is being wiped out. That frigate's gone and lose another one. And so I might probably end up with 4 fighters. Three fighters. We got one at the very end. Yeah, don't find nebula. Oh, that's a weak nebula. It's only 75% movement loss. Oh, that's why it didn't have the nebula effect. I wasn't actually in it. I was next to it. I was like, could have sworn the nebula had a unique battlefield. Oh, yeah. I'll take a next turn on that. I'm gonna hit J because I'm getting tired of these things waking up. Okay, my second fleet just arrived in this area. Don't think they can volley anything. I don't want to just leave these ships. They're going to get wiped out if they just sit on the planet. You have plenty of movement to get to the fleet, and that looks like the end of the turn. So it's doing volley attacks. That fleet wiped out. I can almost say anyone that says they want tactical combat in the game probably isn't playing the game into endgame. There's just no way. It's like, because like each battle is 20 minutes in Master of Orion. I know it can be fun a little bit, but it would get tiring so fast. Out that Starbase. Alright, what do I want to do? Do I want to fight these monsters? Let's fight them. These swarms of little monsters. They're basically fighters, just because they say monsters. They have monster frigates, monster cruisers. I don't want to take too much more damage because these guys aren't just here to fight monsters, they're to take colonies. Um, After antimatter power plants, I might tech the
A
battleships.
trusted advisor, who you may be familiar with, makes contact bearing fascinating updates. An enigmatic relic from the past has been discovered on
It's
a
a little
far-off
late for
world.
this.
This artifact radiates a distinctive signal.
I'll do the tech prowess. Alright, you may have noticed that that didn't move up. If you click on it, then you see the progress, although I think it shows it's one turn behind. That's just a UI display bug. It's not actually increasing. Quick battle. Let's see, this is that starbase here. That's gone. Okay, that's mine now. Or not mine, but it's destroyed. Here's this fleet down here, which is close. I'm gonna just volley that. We have a few defenders around there to be careful of. Alright, so I have 8 movement, and I want to do as much damage with the 8 movement. So I'm gonna do probably a beam volley for that guy. A missile volley for that one. And then I will attack. And invade. Okay, combine these 2 fleets. And that's the end of my turn. AI's doing... Now the AI is going to come out of the woodwork on that one fleet that's just... You know, they're going to try to defend their colony. So they will suicide ships left and right. Okay, so we've conquered... Oh, we've conquered it. Okay. It hasn't updated, but I'll update next turn. Let's volley this. And I actually got a double kill. Cool. Volley the shipyard. I killed whatever was on there. They're going to probably take this back unless I get something on top of it. Which I have a fleet here that could do that. But can't get close enough. Okay, well, whatever. If I spend one turn claiming it, that's fine by me. Let's move this just a little closer here. And just put N for sentry. And claim this here. Okay, I got all their cores around there. Now send this up here. I put an influence. Yeah, these are in rebellion. They don't have a transport to take that colony with. Okay, let's see. Another a little fleet here. And cycle the turn yet. Okay, okay, I took this world down here. Now if I can finish these star bases off, then I will force them out of this space. I mean, it depends on their range. It looks like my range is far, so I could probably expect their range to be far too. All right, let's get this star base. And let's see, is there another star base around here? I don't see any other resources and nothing in my influence area. So let's come down here, take this star base. And this only has 6 conquest range, so they'll harass my stuff, but they can't do anything with that fleet. What's their score at? Oh, I'm number 1. I've knocked the Manti below me. Looks like the interior is like, well, I've probably done the most damage. I just went by and did a drive-by on them and wiped out a lot of their fleet. Pretty hard fought. One victory because I started this like not even close, or when I triggered the Everwar, it was just not even close to being strong enough. I mean, my economy was really good. So another large monster fleet just going around, must have been gobbling stuff. Let's see. Let's go grab extreme miniaturization. Let's go here. There's nothing useful. Let's launch. Let's do leaders. Wait, did I just make a bug? No, it just got
Our
stuck.
flagship comes across a deserted mining drone adrift in space. It seems the drone originates from an advanced
Oh, another thing you could do. If you don't know these galactic challenges, now I triggered the Everwar. That was one of them, and looks like it's halfway done. I can launch these other ones, and you don't have to do them. It says, okay, this triggers event for 30 prestige. I build a wonder, and I don't have a lot of stuff, but I probably have a colony that can build this pretty quick.
And is rapidly spreading across the galaxy. It seems to primarily target.
And then we can come here and trigger the Orbit Dragon. I'm not even gonna try to find that. Let's see. Does this tell me how to find this thing again? Grants. Search the galaxy for anomaly. No. There is a way. I just have no idea. I'll grab it and go through like 100 turns and won't see it. But don't tell me if anyone's in chat. Don't tell me how to get. I'll figure out later.
This perfect model.
Okay, just trigger these. Ooh, I gotta make sure. I was just haphazardly clicking on stuff. I know I didn't trigger Dread Fleet, and I didn't trigger against the tide. Okay, just making sure. Now, when you complete these, you complete the prestige victory progress. So prestige victory is a culmination of all the different powers, basically different scores that have different values. So you can achieve a prestige victory multiple ways. You can build up a military. And I think all these potentially by themselves can trigger the victory. Now you need 1,000 points. Obviously, I don't have that many. I haven't done any galactic challenges yet. Galactic challenges are some of the best ways to get them. And once you get to later in the game, you can kind of rush improvements. So the best thing to do for galactic challenges is find your worlds that have pretty good production, because a lot of them are improvements. Then go in here, and we have a Hall of Unity. I have no tiles available. It's a tourism one. So might as well take advantage of it. We'll destroy that improvement. And you can rush these. And if the turn times are really long, like I have 300 stored production, so I get that in one turn. If your turn times are really long, you can also send supply ships to complete these. So next turn I will complete that, which adds to my prestige victory score. And then the Astrolab of Arnor is also a tourism improvement. Needs 500 construction, so I can get that in up to 3 turns. But I don't have enough Helios ore. So now if I'm lucky, it's up on the bazaar, which it is. That was actually very lucky. I didn't even see how many Helios ore. Okay, so now it says no tiles are available. It's a tourism improvement, but boosts manufacturing. That's not the right world. I might build that over here because it's a manufacturing improvement. That boosts tourism. Oh, it's a base effective tourism. Never mind. It's actually a really weak. It's like a diamond piece. Now I don't. Let's turn off automate right now. Oh, this is a little bug here. If you make the manufacturing capital, the reason why it doesn't show up is usually when you build something, you have the outline stuff. There's actually none of those there, so that's what's going on there. I'm going to cancel that because I want a tile to build on, and I'm going to build the Astrolab of Arnor. Oops, let's actually click on the right improvement. It's probably not, I mean, it's actually probably better to build a capital, but I want to build that quickly. Okay. 3 turns. Next one, Grand Menagerie. Need more Helios ore, which I happen to have it up on the bazaar. Grabbed one too many, but that's okay. And Grand Menagerie is a boost approval. It's an influence improvement. So best to do an influence world. So let's go to the databank and sort by production. And then look who has the highest influence rate. This really has the highest influence growth? I haven't built any influence on here. Oh, I think it must be in range of second starbase. Oh, it's got a high cultural input. That's... Why is it so high? Must have a lot of worlds that are really nice linking to it. Interesting. Grand Menagerie approval. Probably build it there. Oh, not enough snugglers. That part I won't be able to afford right now. So I think next turn I will get another roll of this stuff. So I can hold off on that. Planetary Court and antimatter power plants. Oh, the Plague Center, I gotta build that. 3 to research, no other benefits. So back out here, I think it's the world I was just about to build on is the best one for that. Hofmeister also has a decent amount of research. This adds 3 research levels, which kind of puts it in the center, but it doesn't have any boosted effect. So it's kind of like a diamond. Okay, put that in, so in 5 turns. And then we will see where we're at with score. And I think the AI just took this world back from me is what happened here. So let's do the one of the transports will go take this world back. The rest of the fleet will go kill the AI around it. And then I'll bring it back to here. Oh, I should have actually put it on the planet itself. That was silly. Okay, so as I was saying, once I took this one, now I pretty much claimed everything else around it. Now there's some there's some pockets here that I can take, but that was probably the biggest, piece of this whole thing. Well, on that note, I'm going to take a break. I will be right back.